Hi, Sari here. Thank you for joining me for this video. If you watched the previous lesson on how to read hands, you will know that I mentioned some meanings of the fingers and what they might bring in qualities of the character when there is certain fingerprints on there. So this video will help you understand what all the fingers mean and the planet names and what they mean. The first finger we're going to talk about is the index finger. Most palm readers call it the Jupiter finger, named after the Greek god of Jupiter. Now, apparently the personality comes from those Greek gods, hence why the fingers represent certain planetary gods. Jupiter, in my opinion, the index finger mainly represents the ego, power, pride, ambition. Someone with a strong index finger would show qualities of an influential person. Like when I mentioned in my Find Your Passion video that if you have a whirl print on your index finger, the fingerprint, that shows that you excel in those qualities that Jupiter brings. And here is the list I have. You might want to take them down. Idealism, which means you have great ideas and you are idealistic. Growth and wisdom, that is talking about yourself as a person. It's you naturally grow and become wiser as you get older. Wealth and success, that comes with that ambition and drive, of course, same as the glory and honors. So if you have this ego, power and pride and leadership skills, all the other qualities come along with it. How you deal with others and how you deal with yourself as well. This is the ego part. Also, it shows someone who is quite practical. The finger does represent all those practical qualities. Next one, we have the Saturn finger. Now, I've mentioned the finger and mount. Now, before with the Jupiter finger, that also means the mount beneath it. So the Saturn finger and the mount beneath it, and the Jupiter finger and the mount beneath it have the same, they bring the same qualities. The Saturn, being the middle finger, is the middle of the hand. That's where you draw the line. Responsibilities, the law, discipline, practicality, hardiness, challenges, wisdom, fears. In a negative way can show solitude and melancholy, so somebody who is very depressed. So in a positive ways, it shows a mature person with good work ethics, and they're quite a serious personality in general. The Apollo finger, it's not actually a planet, it's named after the sun god Apollo, representing the sun, which is why sometimes the Apollo line is called the sun line or the success line. So the mount beneath it and the finger shows somebody who is warm, loyal and happy with a good social life if it's well developed. If that finger is not well developed, say if it's thin and with a flat mount, it shows the social, happy, loyal, warm qualities are reduced. So to have the good qualities of Apollo, the creativeness, the self-expression, outward appearances, like, you know, somebody who looks after themselves, their sense of style, their enjoyment of relationships, all of that, you need to show some good development in the mount and the finger. Sometimes a whirl fingerprint on that finger represents all those qualities. The Mercury finger, which I have not used a proper image here, but that is the pinky. So the pinky is mainly communication, intellect, the intellect. It shows whether you're honest, dishonest. It shows your sexuality. It shows healing powers, especially if there's a whirl fingerprint on the pinky. That shows good healing powers, whether for yourself or for others. But it also shows business skills. So a well-developed Mercury finger means a long Mercury finger. Very rarely you see a thick finger. If it's thick, well, that does represent very business-minded person. But the strong qualities come from a long Mercury finger, which means, I've discussed it previously, where it reaches above the top line of the ring finger, Apollo finger. So there you have it. Next we have the thumb. It doesn't have a planet, although the mount beneath it is called the Venus mount. That has a different representation, which I will talk about on another video. But the thumb is very important. As I mentioned in my previous How to Read Hands, it's important to look at the thumb before you give someone a reading. That's where you see their diplomacy, their tact, willpower, determination, self-control, organization skills, and specifically logic. If the thumb is not well developed, that is, being thin and short, all of those good qualities are reduced. So to have these wonderful qualities, you need a decent sized thumb, at least a normal length, normal thickness thumb. The bigger the thumb, the more stronger these qualities are. And again, if you have a whirl fingerprint on that thumb, it enhances it even more. That shows very good leadership qualities for that hand. Summary, here we have the Mercury: communication, learning, business, sex, diplomacy. On the video that I will be doing one day on all the little phalanges, let me get a pen here. Do we have a pen? Do we have a highlighter? There we are. These, if you can see what I'm circling here, sections of the fingers are called phalanges. So I will one day do a video on all those sections. They're going to be quite a few videos. There's a lot to talk about. But especially with the Mercury finger, if we are referring to this part, the sex part, it has a lot to do with these phalanges there. So that's going to be very interesting. So I hope you've subscribed and taken these notes down. I look forward to doing that one day. Apollo finger: expression, creativity, social life and style. Saturn: self-control, the law, seriousness and boundaries. The index: Jupiter: ambition, self-esteem, confidence, leadership and idealism. And there you have it. So whenever you are looking at the fingerprints or looking at the mounts or looking at the lines when you're doing a reading, look at those qualities that those fingers and mounts bring. And does the person have those qualities? If they have a very weak, thin, short index finger, for instance, those qualities might be reduced. They can be balanced with other features, like, for instance, if there is a large thumb, to balance it out instead. So those are some things to think about.